everyone, welcome. More sinister sights near Sultan, Kazakhstan. Astana, the first capital being built in the 21st century, and it nearly perfectly represents where the world is headed. It is truly one word man's vision. Nur-Sultan of the president of Kazakhstan, yes, Borat's country, I know, backed by billions of petrodollars. The city has been built from scratch in a remote deserted area of the Asian steppes. The result is astonishing, a futuristic occult capital embracing the New World Order while celebrating the most ancient religion known to man, sun worship. The city is still a huge construction site, but buildings that are already completed, already set up, is occult vision. The Pyramid of Peace. Conceived by Britain's most prolific architect, Lord Norman Forrester, this giant pyramid is an odd presence in the middle of the Asian steppes. The building is dedicated to the reunification of violence and to bring together the world's religions. Norman Forrester has said that the building has no recognizable religious symbols to permit the harmonious reunification of confessions. In reality, the pyramid is a temple for the occultist only true religion, sun worship, paganism. The journey inside the building is a truly symbolic one. It represents each human's path to illumination. And let's take the tour. The pyramidal shape. The initiates accept the pyramid form as the ideal symbol of both the secret doctrine and those institutions established for its dissemination. Manly P. Hall, a secret teaching of all ages. Novus Ordo Seclorum equals new order for the ages. As Manly P. Hall stated, the pyramid is the ultimate symbol representing the mysteries of the ancient civilizations. Sublime in their simplicity, divine in their proportions, they embody both the divine knowledge of being the illuminated and bewilderment to the masses. Today, the elite, initiated to the occult, and the heirs of the ancient wisdom, and use the pyramid as a symbol of power in the modern world. The illuminated, floating, missing capstone represents the divine principle present in the universe as well as each human being. Another symbolic meaning attributed to the missing capstone is the unfinished nature of the New World Order. It is said that the capstone of the Great Pyramid will be reinstated when this old project will become reality. Here are other pyramids appearing across the world, representing the elite's power over the masses. Memphis Arena, Luxor Hotel Las Vegas, Raffles Hotel Dubai. When entering the pyramid at ground level, the interior is dark and carnivorous. The basement houses Astana Opera House, where the unsuspecting mass gets entertained. An eye above them. Despite the darkness, a huge image of the sun occupies almost all of the ceiling. The midsection, right on top of the opera house, is the central base of the pyramid. It acts as a meeting room for conferences reuniting religious leaders of the world. Take a minute and soak up the symbolism here. You have religious leaders from all over the world sitting on a huge figure of the sun, discussing how to reconcile their differences for the coming new age. The symbolism is blatant. All these theologies are simply an outgrowth of the original project of worship the sun. This space is much more luminous than the opera house, representing the progress towards illumination. The sun image in the middle of the round table is exactly on top of the sun of the opera house. So while the general population is being entertained in the darkness of the material world, the illuminated, sitting right on top of them, are contemplating how to reach godliness. Contemplating godliness. If you read other articles on the site, you might be aware of the objective of the New World Order. One of them is to replace all religions by a form of neo-paganism. This is what these meetings are for. The city of Astana is truly a city of the New World Order. The apex. The apex, literally heavenly, is around, totally windowed and bathing in glorious sunlight. Images of white doves are embodied in the windows, representing peace, which will result in the unification of world governments and religions in the New World Order. The apex is the ultimate representation of achievement of illumination and on the individual on the worldly level. Look at the ceiling of the apex. The solar deity is the sun shining above upon the illuminated. The pyramid's division, the lower dark opera house, the middle conference room, and the godly apex, embody the Parthenon vision of the world. Pythagoras' teachings are thoroughly studied in today's occult societies. Pythagoras divided the universe into three parts, which he called the supreme world, the superior world, and the inferior world. The highest or the supreme world was a stable, interpretive, spiritual essence, pervading all things, and therefore the true plane of the supreme deity itself. The deity being in every sense of omnipresent, omniactive, omnipotent, and omniscient. Both the lower worlds existed within nature of the supreme sphere. The superior world was home to the immortals. It was also the dwelling place of the archetypes, or the seals. Their natures in no manner partook in the material of earthliness, but they, casting their shadows upon the deep, the inferior world, were co-organized only through their shadow. The third, or the inferior world, was the home of these creatures who partook in the material substance, or were engaged in labor whereupon material substance. Hence, the sphere was home of mankind and the lower kingdoms, those temporarily of earth but capable of rising above the sphere by reason and philosophy. I bid. In other words, the pyramid is much more than a tourist attraction. It is a representation of the philosophy and the initiates. As Dan Cruikshank's rather cryptically said in his documentary, it's a representation of power to come. Bay Turk. All designed by the distinguished British architect Sir Norman Forrester, the monument is meant to embody a folk tale about a mythical tree of life and the magic bird of happiness. The bird, named Samrock, laid its egg in the crevice between the branches of a popular tree. The egg, the golden globe at the top of the monument, represents once again the sun, the supreme deity. This tree of life represents the channel through which spirits go to leave the material world and join the divine world. The concept is recurrent in most, if not all, Stoic societies. Inside the golden globe, the total recall thing. Visitors can go to the top of the tower, get a wonderful view of his city. There are also some strange items to look at. Inside the globe, we find this enigmatic thing. It's a golden triangle with President's handprint in it. Why? I honestly don't know. All I can say is it looks like it's something from the movie Total Recall. Beta composition. It is a globe signed by representatives from 17 religious denominations, yet once again talking about uniting all religions into the New World Order and all of that. Masonic pillars. The two pillars and one in between further away. Is this a chance that this may be Masonic symbolism? It certainly is. Yes, the golden pillars represent the two pillars of masonry known Boaz and Jeshurun. I won't go into the whole symbolism behind the pillars, but we can probably assume he is a free and accepted Mason. Presidential Palace, the palace between the two pillars. Placed in the commanding position of the city, the presidential palace sits at the end of the ceremonial route which starts at the Baytek Tower. The big fat dome sits on top of the palace, representing the female principal, in opposition to the phallic Baytek Tower, the male principal. This layout is present in almost all important cities including Washington DC and Paris, and also here in Australia with Canberra. I have a few videos I made about sort of the Masons and what they do. Just check out the Mason playlist. I'll leave a link at the end. The Karen Chateau, can't say that, Chateau Entertainment Center, the world's biggest tent. The unfinished oddity is designed, once again, by Sir Norman Forrester. He basically designed the whole city. Underneath the tent in the large arena, then 10 football stadiums would be an urban scale internal park, shopping and an entertainment venue with squares, cobblestones, a boating river, shopping centre, mini golf, and indoor beach resort. It has been said that the structure is made to look like a tabernacle on par with Temple of Solomon. These portable places of worship, composed of tents, were used during biblical times. Initiates attribute these ancient settlements and Stoic meetings. Coming soon, Astana. Astana is still heavily under construction, but there's some truly amazing projects in the works. Here are some. The Central Markets, designed by our good friend Norman Forrester. This Crazy Tower is not the official name. All-Seeing Eye Stadium. In conclusion, as members of the world elite are fulfilling the conditions that are required to unite the world into a single government, they are scattering all over the world's symbols of their power. The fact that the general population has no idea what these structures represent is exactly the reason why their plans go forward unquestioned and unnoticed. But these plans have been here for ages now. Manly P. Hall wrote in 1918, "When the mob governs, man is ruled by ignorance. When the church governs, he is ruled by superstition. And when the state governs, he is ruled by fear. Before man can live together in harmony and understanding, ignorance must be transmuted into wisdom, superstition into illuminated faith, and fear into love. Mobs equal to democracy, church is equal to religion, state is equal to countries." In other words, before men can live in harmony, we need to establish democracy because the mass is too dumb, religions because they're superstitious, and states because we need a one world government. He continues, "The perfect government of the earth must be patterned eventually after the divine government by which the universe is ordered. And in that day, when the perfect order is re established with peace universal and good triumphant, men will no longer seek for happiness, for they shall find it welling upon within themselves." Sound good, doesn't it? Only one catch: when this will happen, most of the world population will be dead. On that note, have a nice day. Thanks for watching. I hope you're all good. Like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of this place. Check it out on Google Maps. It's just unreal. It's like the cities are paved with gold. It's just unreal what they've done. Like, you won't see homeless people sleeping on the streets like every other country that's been turned into a third world place. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love. Bye now.